Hey guys, welcome back to planetjejuda and welcome back to Loom Knit Thursday. Loom Knit, yep. And with the weather changing and getting so cold, it is fitting now that we make a pair of fingerless gloves. Oh yes. And I am taking from Yarn Stash with Marching North. And Crystal, who is the host of Yarn Stash with Marching North, I will link her video in the description box below, is the one that is giving us the directions. As I am a maker, not a creator, I take that back. I'm a maker, not a designer. I create everything that I make, so I'm not a designer, at least not yet. I'm not in the place where I feel comfortable to design my own things, so I get stuff from other people, and Crystal is who I am getting from today. We are making gloves, fingerless gloves, as I already said, and I'm using my small, this is the large gauge, but the smallest, I forget how many pegs this one has. Here, let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24. I should have known that. They usually are 24 pegs, but it's the large gauge 24 peg loom, and we will be using Premier Puzzle because this is the only bulky 5 that I have, that I'm aware of, that I have plenty of yarn to make my gloves. There. And we are doing in the colorway Backgammon. There you go. Backgammon. Show it. Anyways, just trust me, it's called Backgammon. Just kidding. Don't trust me. Go out and look for yourself. Just kidding. Oh my goodness, I'm in a weird mood. It is late. It is almost 5 o'clock. And I have made the first glove. So here it is. Woo! Isn't it pretty? And I will be making the second glove exactly as she instructed me to. Isn't that nice? Oh, I love it. It's going to be so nice and warm. Love these. I will be making lots and lots more. I will probably be adjusting some of the rows to accommodate my hand. Like, for instance, the hole for the thumb for me feels like it needs to be a little bit bigger, but of course I've already made this verbatim to what Crystal has said, so I'm going to make my next one verbatim to what Crystal has said because I want it to match. Now, because the colorway has multiple colors, it's not going to match exactly because I'm starting from a different point of the yarn. So there you go. But right now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get down and get started and let's loom together. All right, and so of course you will obviously need your scissors, loom hook, pick, whatever you want to call it, a darning needle. Oh, and I forgot, for me, a 5mm crochet hook. I'll be right back for that. All right, here we go. The 5mm crochet hook, and I will explain why I am using the crochet hook. But right now, let's go ahead and get started. First, we need to make our slip knot. And her loom, Crystal's loom, did not have an anchor peg, so she just put her slip knot right here on the first peg that she's starting with. So we are going to go ahead and do that. Oh, wrong side. There we go. Tighten that up a little bit. And we are going to, what's hard for me, but because I tend to want to go to the right, she goes to the left, so we're going to the left exactly as she is, because that's what she says. And let me get, again, out of my way. Come on. Alright, so we're going to go to the left and we're going to E-wrap all of the pegs. Oops. And I do understand because of the color of the loom and the color of the yarn at this moment, it's kind of hard to see. So I do get it. I apologize for that. But hopefully you will see exactly what I'm doing. So this is the E-wrap cast on. And we are going all the way around until we get back to the beginning. And we're almost there. Alrighty, good. We are there. We're going to anchor this really quick. And we are going to pull out some slack, but we're also going to push down all of our beginning E-wraps because we're going to E-wrap again to do the E-wrap cast on. Whoops. Alrighty. So let's get that started. Woo. Let's E-wrap again all the way around. Whoops. There we go. I might need some more light. I don't want to put this down because then it'll unravel everything. Oops. There we go. Alright, we're almost to the back, or the front again. Alright, so I'm going to do my last. So this is our first peg. I'm going to E-wrap or knit over my last peg, and that will anchor down. So now I can let it go. I'm going to get some more light. My neck light. Pardon. Alrighty, here, get out of the way. Nope. Alright, I don't know if that's better for you, but it's definitely better for me. And we are going to go ahead and knit over all 24 pegs. Alright, so we have knit over all of our 24 pegs, so now we have completed our E-wrap cast on. And so per crystal, we are going to start doing a knit 1, purl 1 for 10 rows. And we're going to knit first, so I'm not going to bring down all of my pegs because that would be pointless considering I need to have some of them up. So we're going to knit 1. And then purl 1, and to purl you go from, I don't know, here, you go from the top, you scoop under that top yarn, wrap, whatever, and pull the working yarn into a loop, pop the one loop off, put the new loop on, and pull. So that is a purl. Now we're going to knit. and purl. Oops, let go of my pegs. I'll do one more sequence and then I will come back when it's time to change stitches. All right, so we're gonna knit and purl. Hopefully you guys can see that. I really do apologize. Next time I will make sure I have the proper color or a lighter color yarn. Definitely not the same color as the loom that I am using. But here, let's try and get it in the light. Can you see that? This is awkward to me, especially trying to show you. So I'm going to scoop under the top and scoop over the bottom, creating a new loop, popping out the old loop and popping on the new loop. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and complete my 10 rows and I will be right back and show you what's next. All right, so I have my 10 knit purl stitches, and what that does is it creates this ribbed cuff. Can you tell? It's a little thicker here than it is the rest of the, the rest of the glove. And at this point, Crystal says in her video, or at least she explains how she does it in her video, how to tidy up the loosey-goosey E-wrap cast on. But me, for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to do it. So that is why I'm going to be single crocheting an end, and I think that tidies it up very nicely, as well as it gives, like, you can see that this is blue, which is what was left off from the finished part. So I don't know, I just seem to like it better. Well, not necessarily better, I can't do the tightening of the stitches. If you want to see that, go ahead and go to Crystal's video. It is linked in the description box below, as I have said. So now what we are going to do is simple knit stitches, and so we can pull these all down so it makes it a little bit easier. But now we're just going to simply do knit stitches for 20 rows, and that's just simply doing that. Whoops. You wrap it around, go from the bottom to the top, and knit over. So you're going to do that for 20 rows, and then I will be back to show you how to do the thumb hole. So be right back. All right, so I have completed my 20 rows. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I've completed my 20 rows, and now we are at the point where we need to start constructing our thumb hole. And so instead of going on to the left, we're going to go to the right, and we're going to skip this first peg and do the knit stitch all the way around, and then we're going to stop at our first peg. Let me show you, it'll make a little bit more sense. So we are here, this is where our yarn is. We're going to go behind the last peg and wrap it and do our knit stitch. And we're going to continue doing this all the way around back to this first peg. So I will speed this up and meet you back around to the first peg. And we're back to the first peg. Oops. All right, let me get that back on. There we go. Don't do that. Don't take off both loops. All right, we're back to the first peg. I've done my knit stitch. So as you can see, we are back in the middle right here. So instead of continuing on, we are going to go back to the left. And again, we're going to skip this first peg and then knit stitch this peg and continue all the way around. So we're going to do that another 9 times with a total of 10 rows. And that will create our thumb hole. There we go. I skipped this first one, I've wrapped this one, and now I'm going to knit over. Alrighty, so we have again reached the last peg. Sorry, my yarn's kind of getting caught everywhere. And I know it's probably going to be hard to see, but it is starting to create the hole because we're not completing between these 2 pegs. We're skipping, we're not continuing on. So therefore, we're creating a hole in the glove. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back this way. And I'm going to keep doing that back and forth for 8 more times now. I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I will come back when I am done, and maybe I'll be able to show you the hole a little bit better then. Alright, so we have completed our 10, which completes our thumb hole. I don't know, can you see? I mean, literally, there's my thumb hole. But anyways, I'm going to continue on, and in order to close up that thumb hole, we're just going to, because when you end at 10, you end on this side. So the next step is to continue on and close up the hole, and you will just continue on by doing a simple knit stitch. And there you go. We have closed up the thumb hole, and we are going to continue on going in the same direction for another 15 rows. So we're going to knit for 15 more rows, and then I will be back with the cast off. Alright, so I have completed my 15 rows. Again, I am so sorry that my yarn matches my loom. Next time, if you would like to have a next time, I will do it with a different colored yarn. I seriously thought, I mean, you see, this one's got red in it. There we go. You can see it's got red in it. So I thought this one was going to be the same, but clearly this one's going to be just blue. So now it's time to cast off. We are at our last peg right here, and I'm going to go ahead and knit these 2 pegs. If I can see what I'm doing. So I've knit the first 2, and now I'm going to take this second one and move it over to the first one. I make the loop a little big so that I know that I'm going to be able to do it, and I tighten it up. So now I'm going to knit off, or knit over that one, and then I'm going to move this one over to this second peg. So again, I'm going to make the loop a little big, and now I'm going to tighten it, and we have officially knit off our first peg. And I'm going to continue to do that all the way around. And this is how I did it. I'm not sure if Crystal did it the same way, but I knit the second one before I moved it over, and then moved it over, then knit off, or knit over, and then moved it over to the empty peg, and now we're at 2 empty pegs. Woo! So I'm gonna knit over, or knit this next peg, and then move it over. I'm gonna knit over, and then remove this one from this peg and move it back, move it over to this peg. And I'm gonna continue doing that all the way around until I am at the end. All right, so we are on the last 2 pegs. I'm trying to, hopefully you can see this. Whew. Okay, last 2 pegs. So I am going to knit over the last peg. Okay, and now I'm going to loosen that loop, bring it over to the peg that has a loop on it, and knit over that peg. And now we're done. We can cut off our yarn, pull it off, and we are officially off the loom. And we can just pull that through. And there we go. Our finished, and there's the thumb hole, our finished glove. And I am notorious, this is something that I need to work on myself. I am notorious for doing really tight cast-offs, but actually that's not too bad. It doesn't feel bad. So now we are going to thread our yarn onto our needle. And find that first stitch, whoops. There we go, or that last one. Crystal says it better, and you can actually probably see hers a lot better. And then going in the stitch that we just came from. So that's supposed to make it look more cohesive, but to be honest, because of the color, it's not going to matter. Now we're going to go inside and weave in our yarn. Go to this. I'm just going to go down a couple. There we go. Pull it through. Go up the, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back through that one. And I'm gonna knot it. There we go. Now I can just weave it in a little bit more and then cut it off, and that one will be good. Woo. I can get there. There we go. Gonna cut that off. I can see what I'm doing. Woohoo, the top is done. Yeah. Okay, and so as you can see, this one looks a little rougher because I was trying to do the technique that Crystal showed by tightening the loosey-goosey E-wrap, but with this one I decided not to do that because it was making it look really bad, and so I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to get my crochet hook and I'm gonna jump in. Let's see, where is it at? Kind of right there where any hole is, actually. Oops. And I'm going to slip stitch there, but for the remainder I'm going to do single crochets all the way around, just where, you know, like the next stitch over. And I'm not doing it very tight. I want it to be kind of loose. There we go. And I'm just going to keep going around until I get to the, oops, until I get back to the front. Okay, stop. That's enough with you. All right, there we go. And hopefully that will make it look a little neater. I mean, it did on the first one, so I don't see why it would not on this one. And this is a step that you don't have to do. If you don't want to, you can do something else. You can just leave it as is. Or if you watched Crystal's video and was able to get the technique down, more power to you. I just couldn't get that technique down. It was just, I don't know. And I've done it, I've tried it before on other projects, and I just make it worse. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and come back to the end. We are back around and it's time to finish this off. I'm going to go ahead and weave in my ends, and then I will be right back and show you my beautiful new pair of gloves. All right, here's the grand reveal. What do you think, guys? I love them. I know they're essentially two different gloves, but they're the same because, well, they're a matched pair, I should say, because they're the same yarn. Even though one has a lot of red and the other one is pretty much all blue, it doesn't matter. I love them. And if I were to do it again, I would definitely probably add at least 3 rows for the thumb, because my hands are kind of, they're big. They're big for a woman. And so I would definitely need to have a little bit bigger hole. This hole is fine. It just feels a bit snug. So that's why I would need a bigger hole. And I feel like this one looks a lot better here because I didn't try to tighten it. But there you go. Here's my gloves. Anyways, I hope you guys have had a great Thursday. I had a great Halloween. I spent it with my grandkids and we just went all over the place and it was amazing. So I hope you guys had a great Halloween too. Hope you have had a great week so far and a great Thursday, and the weekend's almost here. So if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Do you want me to do another one where you could actually probably see it because it's not such a dark color? Let me know. Just say, put glove part 2. There. Say glove part 2, and that'll let me know that you want me to do another one. Anyways, again, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment. And if you'd like to be notified of any and all future uploads, hit that subscribe button. And with that, gravity works, guys.